The process of generating electricity in geothermal power plants. Volcanic areas serve as a resource for the production of geothermal energy or heat energy from within the earth. In a geothermal power plant, heat from within the earth changes water into steam, which turns steam turbines that generate electricity. Inside the earth, there is a naturally occurring hot water and steam called hydrothermal vent, which can be tapped by energy conversion technology to generate electricity. Geothermal power plants utilize a production well, heat exchanger, turbine, generator, condenser, cooling tower, and injection well for this purpose. This is how geothermal power plants operate. The production wells are drilled deep into the earth to pump steam or hot water to the surface. Once the water reaches the surface, the pressure drops, often assisted by a heat exchanger, causing it to turn into steam. This steam is then directed to spin a turbine connected to a generator which produces electricity. The electricity generated is distributed via the electric distribution network, supplying power to both industrial and residential consumers. Meanwhile, the condensed steam, now returned to its liquid state, passes through a condenser to cool it down. Subsequently, a cooling tower further cools the water before it is pumped back into the earth through an injection well, completing the cycle and allowing the process to begin anew. The energy transformation in geothermal power plant to generate electricity involves thermal energy from the earth becoming mechanical energy in a turbine, then transforming into mechanical energy in a generator, and finally into electrical energy. In summary, here are the steps for generating electricity in a geothermal power plant. Number 1. Wells are drilled deep into the earth to pump steam or hot water to the surface. Number 2. When the water reaches the surface, the drop in pressure causes the water to turn into steam. Number 3. The steam spins a turbine which is connected to a generator that produces electricity. The electric distribution network then transports electricity to both industrial and residential consumers. Number 4. The cooling tower cools the steam and condenses it back to water. Number 5. The cooled water is pumped back into the earth to begin the process again. Types of geothermal power plants. There are 3 types of geothermal power plants: dry steam, flash steam, and binary cycle power plants. Let's begin by discussing dry steam power plants. Number 1. Dry steam power plants. Dry steam power plants extract steam directly from the Earth's depths, utilizing it to spin turbines for electricity generation. These plants are relatively rare due to the limited availability of locations producing dry steam. The first dry steam plant was constructed in Tuscany, Italy in 1904. Among the 3 types of geothermal power plants, dry steam requires the highest temperature to convert water to steam and drive turbines. Despite this, it uses minimal liquid water, hence the term dry steam. This is how dry steam power plants work. The process begins with drilling wells deep into the earth to access the steam. Once brought to the surface, the high-pressure steam drives turbines connected to generators, producing electricity. The condensed steam is then cooled and recycled back into the earth, completing the cycle. Despite requiring the highest temperature among geothermal plant types, dry steam plants operate efficiently with minimal water usage. Number 2. Flash steam power plants. Flash steam power plants are more common and require low temperatures than dry steam geothermal power plants. These geothermal power plants operate at temperatures around 180 degrees Celsius. They utilize water from underground sources and convert it into steam through flash tanks to spin turbines for electricity production. Flash steam geothermal power plants begin by pumping high-pressure hot water from underground reservoirs to the surface through production wells. Upon reaching the surface, the water enters a flash tank, where its boiling point is reduced, converting it into steam. This steam is then used to spin turbines connected to generators, generating electricity. Excess water from this process is then injected back deep into the earth, ensuring continuous electricity generation and efficient utilization of geothermal resources. Number 3. Binary cycle power plants. Binary cycle power plants are typically located in regions where water temperatures rising from the surface are lower compared to flash steam geothermal power plants. They function by utilizing pentane or isobutane as secondary fluids known for their low boiling temperatures. These secondary fluids are heated using surface water, resulting in the production of steam. The resulting steam is then used to drive turbines generating electricity. Binary cycle power plants operate by pumping hot water from underground reservoirs to the surface through production wells. This hot water hits a secondary fluid with a lower boiling point, such as pentane or isobutane, in a heat exchanger. When this secondary fluid boils and turns into vapor, it powers turbines that are linked to generators which produce electricity. Afterwards, the secondary fluid is condensed back into liquid form by passing it through a cooling system with water and then used again in the process. At the same time, the hot water from the underground reservoir is sent back underground, ensuring that the cycle can continue producing electricity constantly and using geothermal energy efficiently. Let us sum up. Dry steam power plants utilize steam directly from underground reservoirs to drive turbines generating electricity. They are relatively rare due to the limited locations producing dry steam. Flash steam power plants, on the other hand, operate at temperatures lower than 180 degrees Celsius. They utilize a flash tank to rapidly convert hot water into steam, powering turbines for electricity generation. At present, this is the most common type of geothermal power plant. Binary cycle power plants utilize hot water from underground reservoir, passing it through a heat exchanger to vaporize a secondary fluid, typically pentane or isobutane, which has a lower boiling point. The resulting vapor powers turbines to generate electricity. Each type has its advantages. Dry steam plants are efficient but require high-quality steam. Flash steam plants can operate with lower quality steam but may need more maintenance. And binary cycle plants are versatile and can utilize lower temperature resources. As of 2022, the Philippines stands as the third largest user of geothermal energy. The United States holds the top position with a capacity of 3,794 megawatts, while Indonesia secures the second spot with a capacity of 2,356 megawatts. The Philippines generates energy amounting to 1,935 megawatts. Notably, the Makiling-Banahaw Geothermal Complex leads with the highest capacity at 458 megawatts, followed by the Tiwi Complex at 289 megawatts. Examples of geothermal power plants in the Philippines include the Tiwi Geothermal Power Plant in Tiwi Albay and the Macban Makiling-Banahaw Geothermal Power Plant in Calauag, Laguna, both commissioned in 1979. Additionally, the Palinpinon Geothermal Power Plant in Valencia, Negros Oriental, began operations in 1983, followed by the Bacman-Bacon Manito geothermal power plant in Bacon, Sorsogon, which was commissioned in 1993. Lastly, the Mount Apo geothermal power plant in Kidapawan City, North Cotabato, commenced operations in 1996. Geothermal power plant offers several advantages and disadvantages to both the environment and living things. Here are the advantages. Number 1. Renewable energy source. Geothermal power plants utilize heat from the Earth's core, which is a virtually limitless and renewable resource unlike fossil fuels. Number 2. Low emissions. Geothermal energy produces very low emissions compared to fossil fuel-based power plants, reducing air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Number 3. Minimal land use. Geothermal plants typically require less land area compared to other types of power generation facilities like solar or wind farms. Number 4. Stable and reliable. Geothermal energy is consistent and reliable, providing a steady source of electricity without relying on external factors like weather conditions. Number 5. Long lifespan. Geothermal power plants have a longer lifespan compared to many other types of power plants, providing a stable energy source for decades. Number 6. Economic benefits. Geothermal energy projects can provide economic benefits to local communities through job creation, royalties, and investment in infrastructure. Here are the disadvantages. Number 1. Location is specific. Geothermal energy can only be harnessed in regions with suitable geological conditions, limiting its widespread availability. Number 2. High initial cost. The upfront capital cost of developing geothermal power plants, including drilling and infrastructure, can be substantial, making it less attractive option in some regions. Number 3. Land disruption. While geothermal power plants have a smaller footprint compared to some other types of power plants, they still require land disruption for drilling and infrastructure. Number 4. Water use. Geothermal power plants often require significant amounts of water for cooling purposes, which can impact local water resources and ecosystems. Number 5. Potential for earthquakes. The injection and destruction of fluids into and from the Earth's crust can induce seismic activity, albeit usually minor, which can potentially pose risk to nearby communities. Number 6. Hydrogen sulfide emissions. Geothermal power plants can emit hydrogen sulfide gas, which has a strong odor and can be harmful to health in high concentrations. Overall, while geothermal power plants offer several environmental benefits and are a promising renewable energy source, careful consideration of their location and environmental impacts is necessary to ensure sustainable development and minimize negative effects on ecosystems and communities.